welcome to my kitchen for another week of meal prep. I hope you guys are excited. This is a love yourself later activity. So you put in a little bit of work now and then throughout the rest of the week, everything's easy. Okay, so that's what we're going for this week on the menu. It is spring roll bowls, sweet and tangy chicken, and that one's a sheet pan dinner, and sloppy joes. So if that sounds good to you, then let's get going. I have 3 varying levels of prep here depending on your level of motivation. However, if you want to get the time to table results that you see in the meal plan, you're going to want to go all the way with me to level 3. Okay, so let's get going. And as usual, I'm going to start with some things that are in level 3. Level 3 are things that take a little bit more time. So if we can get those rocking while we are doing other things, that's how you're really going to gain your time back. Okay, so I'm going to start by browning some meat, and we are also going to grill chicken. And if you're joining me in the wild ride for sweet potato casserole, I have a craving. I want sweet potato casserole. Then you can join me in that wild ride as well. So we'll just get a few things going here. I'm going to cook my chicken on a grill press because, well, you know what? It's easy, right? So turn that to grill. There we go. And get my pan started here for the ground beef. I am going to make a double batch of sloppy joes because it has been requested of me that just one batch is not enough. So you can do that now too if you want to have easy leftovers, whether it's for lunch or whether you want to make this work for a couple days of dinner, you can do that. Always so gross handling raw meat. Okay. Give my hands a quick wash. Wonderful. So I'm waiting for the grill to heat up, and I'm waiting for that pan just to kind of heat up. We can start doing some of the other prep. I am going to start first with these sweet potatoes because I gotta wait for them to steam, and that's gonna take a little while. I'm doing mine in a pressure cooker. If you wanted to do yours in a hot and boiling water, you could certainly do that, or any other method you happen to like to do mashed potato. I do like using a pressure cooker just because it's pretty mindless, right? Like, don't have to worry too much about it. And if you've never used a pressure cooker because you actually do worry about it, don't worry, it's not going to blow up. Your pressure cooker is not going to blow up. It's going to be fine. At least this is what I tell myself. So if there was something that did malfunction with it, there's a spot in the top where like the steam vents, and I feel like that would be the first fail point. So I feel like it would just be like a scary little sound and you wouldn't actually be in any danger. That's what I think. That's what I tell myself. If it's anything else, don't tell me, because I love my pressure cooker because it just, the amount of time it saves me is, and effort. And I like to save both of those things. Can't just go wasting those on anything. So sweet potato casserole is one of my favorite things in the whole universe. If you don't want to make sweet potato casserole, you could still chop up some sweet potato if you wanted and store them in water. If you wanted to have it with your sweet and tangy chicken, I think it would go really, really, really nice with it, just if you're roasting some sweet potatoes. So if you want to cube it now, put it in water so that it's ready to roast day of. I think you will not regret that life choice. But sweet potato casserole, I don't know. there's some weeks that I just want to do the meals and like have it done kind of like quick and dirty, you know, like, oh, here you go, family, here's your sandwich, you know. But then there's other times where I'm like, you know what, I'm feeling kind of bougie. I want the good things. I want the exciting things to eat. And that's this week. So welcome to Bougie Week. You can see what Bougie Week looks like in my house. But I really firmly believe like you can eat awesome food at home that's not going to have you craving to go anywhere else. If it's really good at home, you're not going to necessarily feel like you have to go out to eat to get a treat. And if you have dietary sensitivities or allergies, it's hard to go out. It's like one of the things that, you know, I used to love before I had dietary issues, and now it's like I go somewhere to eat, and if they can feed me, it's usually really like plain and bland and boring because, guys, I can't eat the processed stuff anymore, and not being able to eat the processed stuff cuts out a lot of convenience. And since restaurants have to get things done in a timely manner, you guessed it, there's a lot of convenience food in there, so there's a lot of processed things. So it leaves me kind of having to go really, really fancy spots where they make things from scratch. Or just eating a plain piece of meat with steamed veggies, and that is just not all that exciting. Okay, I'm gonna get something to cut this. Okay, so I'm using, it's called a crinkle cutter. That's what I'm gonna use to cut my sweet potato. Because they're big and awkward, and I'm also awkward, and I don't want to cut myself again. Last week was not a good week, guys. It was a little bit funny. My husband's like, are you actually going to use that video? Prepping all that all over again. How much time do you think I have? Like, geez, mom life in here. So I try to juggle a knife a little bit. Turns out I am not, nor ever will be, a professional knife juggler. And it's good that I know this and recognize this for myself now, right? It's a lesson, hard lesson everybody has to learn eventually. So I'm gonna put the chicken on to grill there very soon. The reason I'm grilling chicken is for my spring roll bowl. So if you would prefer to have your chicken fresh day of, you certainly don't have to prepare that now. If you are choosing a different protein, maybe you wanted shrimp in there or something else, I don't know, tofu, lots of options. Maybe you are not doing that stuff as well. So today's prep, there's kind of options. We got options today. So you do what works for you, because ultimately, that's what this is all about. Finding something that works for you, works for your family, keeps you well fed. Okay, potatoes. Potatoes, meat, pressure cooker. Gonna steam those. I'm going to put some salt on my chicken. So just crumbling up that ground beef a little bit. Now, get my peeler back out. Because I'm gonna julienne some vegetables for the spring roll bowl. I'm going to use my Rapid Prep mandolin. You could just chop it. You could use a peeler if you wanted to just make small pieces. Any of those options really are at your disposal. So, however you want to julienne your carrot and cucumber and pepper is perfect. I'm just going to get all of my things kind of prepared to julienne so I can just throw them all through rapid fire. Get her done. For the spring roll bowl, you can change up your veggies if you want. You can switch up whatever herbs you're using. Maybe you grow fresh herbs yourself. Maybe you don't want any at all. That's cool too. Not here to judge, just here to help. So I'm going to get a little divider here. So I can keep my ingredients somewhat separate, but still have, economic use of my space. So I'm going to turn my dial here to a thin julienne. For the carrots, I want them really thin. Now, I am only going to do half of the cucumber because I think my kids will probably prefer having the cucumber in slices, and that's fine. I will do literally whatever it is that has them eat their vegetables. If that's what they need for it to happen, cool. You know what? Pepper's gonna go in its own thing. The little drainer on the bottom. There's a lot of liquid that comes out of a pepper. And I don't need the carrots sitting in pepper juice. I mean, they could. It's not gonna hurt it any. But that's just my personal preference. Alright, what do we have to do? So on the back of this, I can do the setting where you normally switch out blades on a mandolin. This one I can just turn a dial in the back, and I can set it anywhere between 1 and 8 millimeters, or set it to slices or large or small julienne. So. Go. Got some julienne vegetables ready to go. I am going to slice up some mango too. Trying to find my way to that pit there. There we go. Oops. Cut right through the pit instead. There we go. I did better on that side. Good mango. Okay. So I'm just putting some slices through the mango here. And then slicing that way. I'm not trying to slice all the way through the skin. It's a sharp knife, so I am doing it somewhat. Check on our chicken, see if it's all done. Not quite done, but very, very, very close. So for the mango, where I have it like kind of chopped here, I'm just going to use a spoon and just kind of dig it out. Try to get as close to the skin as I can on that side. And if you don't want to do mango, you could actually throw a different kind of fruit on there if you wanted to. If you wanted to do, I think pear would be delicious. Like, just, you want like that bit of like fresh sweetness is going to add so much to this dish. You're going to be happy you did it. But it does not have to be mango. Heck, you could put apple in there if you were, you know, wanting to go for it. Oops. But I love any excuse to have mango. Probably one of my absolute favorite fruits. If you feel like you're going to need more mango than that, you can go ahead and slice yourself up some more mango. Otherwise, we're good. Okay, I'm going to just dump out my compost here. Okay, and I'm going to chop up an onion here. This is going to go in with the ground beef. I'm honestly not too worried with how much it's cooked, because we're going to reheat this on the night that we're eating it. So really, it's no big deal at all if it just kind of sits in there with it for a little while. Sorry, it'll be fine. So I'm using what's called a food chopper. It's appropriately named as it does in fact chop food. Here we go. Fabulous. Now I'm actually just going to take this and just go right ahead and dump that in there. Chicken is done. I'm just going to put that aside, then I can slice it once it's cooled down a little bit. Oh my goodness, it's going to make me cry. Okay, I just turned off the heat on that. Next. What do we have? Okay, we are almost done with our level 1 for our fresh things, so that's awesome. I'm just going to trim up some green beans. So these will be for our sheet pan as well. If you're not a fan of green beans, or you for some reason just don't want them, just make something else that's green. Nice and plain and simple, just go for something else green. It's always nice, if you can, to include something green with a meal. Doesn't have to be something huge, just green things. Green things are good. Green is for go, and green things keep you going. However you get to remember it, just eat the green things. So I'm just lining up a few at a time, chopping one end, chopping the other. If you want to chop them in half, you could. The only right way is the way that you're doing it. I'm like super stoked for this menu this week, guys. Like, it's going to be good. It's more prep than normal, especially if you're joining me in all of my bougie extras. However, I think it's going to be well worth it. And if you do have picky kids who don't want to eat anything, look at the meals and look at the sum of their parts and see what parts the kids would eat. And if they would eat them in a different way. Like these green beans, maybe they wouldn't like them cooked, but you know what? Maybe they'll try them raw, and raw's good anyway. Like, good for you. So that's no harm, no foul. Also, I think it's handy to keep in mind that generally people need to be exposed to something at least 20 times before they actually like it. And the same goes for kids, and heck, it might even be more times they need to be exposed to it. And they change their minds on it all the time. But it doesn't mean that we stop offering. When you stop offering, that's when you're just giving up, kind of. You gotta keep offering. I never force my kids to eat what's put in front of them. I ask them to try it, and most of all, I demonstrate to them what a healthy diet looks like by eating that myself. So I will eat it my way. If they're willing to try it, awesome. Sometimes it might just surprise you, but I'll always put the things on their plate, and I just tell them if they don't want it, don't eat it. But that's what they have. That's their meal. Beans are all cut up. And if your goal was level 1 and you have nothing else in you and that was all the fuel in your tank, you did awesome. You prepared so many things, you did amazing, and you are going to love yourself. Now, if you are still along with me for the ride, then let's go. Let's get her done, shall we? Grab a container for this. Gonna make some peanut sauce. You could buy peanut sauce if you want to. Just make sure that, you know, all the ingredients are good and will fit within your diet. But let's see. So I want 1/3 cup of peanut butter. I'm using, it's called a measure all cup, which I love them for measuring things like peanut butter. Because, as you shall see, it scrapes it all out of the cup. So I don't have to scrape it into the cup and then out of the cup. It does it. So this peanut sauce is going to be for our spring roll bowl. If you have a favorite peanut sauce that you buy already or a favorite peanut sauce recipe, awesome, go for it. But this one's pretty easy. So got peanut butter. And let's see. Oops, overfilled that just a touch. A couple tablespoons of rice vinegar. Some, either use gluten-free soy sauce, or in this case, I'm using coconut aminos. I buy my coconut aminos in like this ginormous jug, and then I put it into these containers so that I can keep on refilling them. That way I can save money, because coconut aminos are not cheap. They're not cheap, but they are great if you can't do soy and you still want to have the flavors, right? So some sesame oil. Maple syrup or honey, either one. It's the Canadian that comes out on me. I go for the maple syrup first. And we'll throw a couple cloves, garlic in there. Now, you may need to thin out your sauce with some water. You can do that now, you can do that day of. Or maybe it's gonna look this fine. And if it looks fine now and it looks really chunky on the day of, then you can kind of switch tactics that day, you know? Then you can put a little bit of water in it that day, maybe warm water. Take your sauce out of the fridge a little bit beforehand. Perfect. So, peanut sauce, done. Nice. Okay, gonna crush some peanuts to go in my spring roll bowl as well. I'm gonna use my food chopper again. I'm gonna give it a quick rinse though, so I don't have like, you know, onion peanuts. I'm okay with getting a little freaky, trying new things. Onion peanuts just does not sound like a good experiment. So I'll save that for a lazy day, because that's when the experimentation really happens, isn't it? When you're like doing the lazy thing. Now, however many peanuts you do is entirely up to you. Ooh, I'm a rhymer. I'm like a poet. So. Oops. Cool. You could use a different kind of nut if you wanted to. I think this would be lovely with almonds and also peanut sauce. If you're not doing peanuts, that's cool too. You don't have to. Okay, so I'm also going to chop half a cup of pecans for my sweet potato casserole. You know, the craving. See, if you use toys and tools for prep, then doing a prep day just makes sense because you're actually doing less dishes. Because I would have taken these out for a couple days, right? I would have taken these tools out and used them for a couple different days and then cleaned them up. Where this way, I only have to clean them once. If that's not enough to like you love prep, I don't know what is. Unless you love doing dishes, in which case please come over and be my friend. There we are. Got my pecans. All right, I think we got everything chopped that we need to chop. I'm just gonna throw this over here. Okay. Let's make marinade, shall we? For the chicken thighs. May as well get the marinade ready now, and then it is done. It is done, and that's good. Okay, so we're gonna get some. Here. So I want a quarter cup of oil. You can use any kind of oil you want. I'm using avocado oil, because that's just my oil of preference. It's my go-to oil for everything. Gonna go for more of the coconut aminos or gluten-free soy sauce. Get our Dijon on. Dijon's just one of those fabulous, like, all seasoning type of things. Love it. Let's see, what else do we need? We need some honey or maple syrup. For some extra sweetness, you can put some brown sugar in there, or I am using maple sugar. You can use coconut sugar if you want. Throw in some thyme. Couple more cloves of garlic. See how we're reusing a lot of these same ingredients. It's just less dishes. The goal is really to make, to have all of this make your week easier. Because you can see everything that we're prepping now is just less prep that we need to do day of. And that's nothing short of magic. It really is. And after you get hooked on this, you get hooked because you're not thinking, well, what do we need to make for dinner? What do we need to take out of the freezer? Blah, blah, blah. There's not that worry. It's just, what's for dinner tonight? Oh, there's the meal plan. Which one do you want to have? Let's have this one. And you can do any one of them. Any one of them are going to work. Because we're just prepping for 3 days. That's it. And then you just choose the one you want that day and go wild. Okay. So I'd like to put some salt and pepper in there too. Because, well, they're yummy. Good staples. And that is it. Our marinade is done, and I put it into this bag because it's the same thing I'm going to be doing my marinating in, is this bag. So in that way, it just saves me additional effort. So I can throw that in the fridge, I can throw my chicken just in the same bag, and we're golden. Right? Nothing like making things easy on ourselves. And these are also like, they're really good, like, they don't leak. They don't leak. I've had my toddlers like play with them and all the rest of it, and they're not going to leak. They're awesome. Okay, we're gonna combine the sauce with the sloppy joes, and you know where we're gonna combine it? I'm just gonna throw it right in there because that's just gonna make it easy. So, if you didn't cook your meat right now and you're planning on cooking that on another day, that's okay too. That is quite all right. You can always just combine your sauce and have it in the fridge, and then your sauce is ready to go. It's a bottle, not me, I promise. Okay. So I am doubling mine, so I'm going to go for another round of that. Okay, so I'm not getting it all out of there, but ta-da! There's never a shortage of ketchup in this house. If you have seen any of my videos, you have seen Soren covered in ketchup. And with good reason, the child lives off of it. He will literally take shots of ketchup. It is quite possibly the most disturbing thing I have seen in my entire life, but he has an unhealthy love and obsession for ketchup. There we are. So you got a ketchup in there. What are we going for next? Some water. So day of, we are going to want to cook this. We're going to want to like bring it up to a simmer and then let it simmer so that all the flavors like meld together and all that fun stuff. However, for today, we're just going to be happy we have it all put together. Because when we decide we want to have this, we'll be like, oh, what are we having? Sloppy joes? And you just grab it and dump it in a pan and you're good to go, right? That is so easy. Just heat it up and serve it. So I am using more coconut aminos in there, just add a little extra depth of flavor. I'm gonna throw some garlic in there too. Garlic's never a bad thing. It's one of the things you measure with your heart. Here we go. Some mustard. And salt. I'm going to release the pressure. There we go. So sloppy joes, those are all done. We've already got our chicken cooked. Now the last thing that we're going to do is, if you're along for the ride with me, is we're going to get our sweet potato casserole put together. So I'm just going to move my cutting board out of the way. We won't need this. Cutting board served us well. You've done real good. Done real good. And the sweet potatoes, they just already smell good. Just in case I had to wonder if I made a good call. Don't have to wonder anymore, it smells so good. Those are gonna be amazing. Be worth every second. And you see, like, that would have taken a while on a weeknight, but while I'm doing all the other prep, it just kind of like falls into line, right? So I'm gonna put in some sugar. All right, and there's, I'm not gonna lie, lots and lots and lots of sugar that goes into this. We're not gonna judge. Don't judge me. We're just going with it, okay? Eggs in there. And if you want to, you can reduce the sugar. You can use fake sugars if you wanted to. Maybe use some maple syrup if that makes you feel better. Or just enjoy a sweet treat for yourself every now and then, because you know what? You deserve nice things. Going with it, you deserve nice things. And if that nice thing happens to be a sweet potato casserole midweek, then that nice thing is a sweet potato casserole midweek. Gotta keep the joy alive in the kitchen, right? Okay, get our other things to throw in here. Going to throw in 1/4 cup of butter. I'm using ghee in this case. And yes, Costco has ginormous containers of ghee. If you're ever looking for ghee on a budget, go to Costco. Butter, vanilla, and some salt. I am so excited. This was a good life choice. This was a really good life choice. If you're along with for the ride with me, you're gonna love yourself even better. Okay, so I'm just gonna put all these potatoes in the pan, and I'm putting it into the like the 8x8 pan that I'm actually going to cook it in that night, just to make things even easier for myself. I like easy. I like less dishes. It just makes sense. Let's get topping. We need some more butter. I know, don't judge me. If you're still here, then, I mean, don't judge yourself either. This is cool. Some pecans that I chopped up earlier, and some more sugar. I forgot to put my cinnamon in there. I would have been really disappointed if I had left my cinnamon out. So I'm just gonna put that in now. There's no harm, no foul. I can just mix it around in there. I'm using, it's called Cinnamon Plus, and it's from Pampered Chef, and the smell of it reminds me of baking ginger cookies with my mom when I was a kid. That's what the smell reminds me of. But it is just the best, like, it's kind of like a pumpkin spice type of thing. You can only get it from Pampered Chef in the, my goodness. You can only get it from in the fall, like between October and December, and that's it. So I get mine then, and I stock up on it for all year round. Keep this in mind, because I highly recommend you do the same thing, because it's freaking delicious. It is just so good. That, and they sell cinnamon as well, if you just want to have straight up cinnamon in this. And it is a very good cinnamon they have too. Once you try them, then you'll be pampered and you'll be addicted. Sorry, not sorry. I apologize in advance. Now I'm gonna mix this little mixture up. My plan is just to throw this into the oven at the same time as I throw my sheet pan in. And I think it's gonna work out. I think it's gonna be good. They're gonna be like extremely close timing, if not absolutely perfect. But either way, it's gonna be a good night. And I think there will be enough for leftovers that you're gonna be able to have a good day the next day too, which is always nice. Okay guys, at this time, if you want to, if you're in a groove, you're feeling good, then you can go look in your fridge and see if there's anything that needs to be used up. If you need to use it up, you can process it now. If you can't incorporate it into any of these dishes this week, whatever's in there, still process it, freeze it, mark it with a date and what it is so that it doesn't just disappear in your freezer. And then the next time you need that ingredient, it'll be there for you, okay? So this is a great time, since you've set aside this time for yourself, that you can do that, and you'll notice huge savings if you get in the habit of doing that. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you enjoy all of these meals this week, and I hope to see you next week as well. Bye-bye.